G'day, this is Central Coast Newspaper's weekly news, 5 at 5 for the second week of February 2023. In the bulletin this week, storms lash part of the Central Coast, Aero Club wins big, local Labor MPs furious over funding, gardening with Sherilyn, local skier takes gold in the US of A, and new local foodie show, beer battered fish and chips. Now, intense thunderstorms and associated hail and rainfall caused severe flooding over parts of the Central Coast on Thursday evening. Holgate, Terrigal, Avoca and Bateau Bay appear to have been the hardest hit. Terrigal's main shopping district was flooded with some damage to cars and commercial premises reported. The storm front had earlier lashed the south coast of New South Wales and southern Sydney suburbs, causing major disruptions to the road network and causing Sydney Airport to close for a period. Local home weather stations recorded in excess of 100 millimetres over a 2-hour period, yet the Bureau's official Gosford weather station recorded only 64 millimetres, while Mangrove Mountains recording of 0. Now, Central Coast Aero Club, which operates out of Warnervale Airport, has been awarded the prestigious Aero Club of the Year for 2022. Announced recently by Australian Flying, the Civil Aviation and Safety Authority's Wings Award recognises the achievements of pilots, instructors, clubs and services in general aviation. Club spokesman Alan Cooper said, quote, "The club has risen from a position of relative weakness 5 years ago to a position of real strength and credibility." CCAC operates under the leadership and guidance of CEO and Senior Instructor Andrew Smith. Now, the New South Wales Auditor General has slammed the state governments for its handling of the Bushfire Local Economic Recovery Program, which saw all Labor-held seats, including those on the Central Coast, completely miss out on funding under the initial fast-track stream of the program. Member for Gosford Liesl Tesh was indeed evicted from Parliament when she raised the issue during question time in 2021. We spoke with the MPs in Gosford at their announcement.
People of New South Wales, the people of the Central Coast have been betrayed by this government. This is taxpayers' money and these are people's lives and livelihoods. I mean, it's just below possible. It's so frustrating. It's really people deserve funding. People have done incredible work, and our Central Coast Council missed out as well on several grants. Not the first time, and it's frustrating as all get out. We've seen it with the sports rorts, and when the Wildlife Walkabout Park mix out, I get so angry. I saw $11 million go to the North Coast for a skydiving pool, and I asked the Premier, I was thrown out of Parliament. It's so frustrating. So it's sort of retrospectively satisfying that the Auditor General points this out, but it really doesn't help people who have moved out of our electorate because they've missed out on assistance.
Now let's ask our gardening guru, Sherilyn, for some late summer growth news.
I'm Sherilyn Darcy and this is the Gardening News. A vertical succulent garden workshop is being held at Buff Point on either the 12th or the 19th of February. Learn to make your own succulent vertical garden to hang on the wall or give to someone special. The workshop includes the planter and all the succulents you will need to make your own beautiful vertical garden. A free wicking bed workshop is being held online on Wednesday the 22nd of February. It's all part of national sustainability. It's a very informative session and you'll learn how to make your own wicking beds. Book now. Woy Woy Produce Swap is being held between 10 and 11 a.m. on the 26th of Feb at the Woy Woy Peninsula Community Garden. It's a really casual affair and nobody keeps score. It's also a great way to meet your fellow gardeners.
And in sport, Central Coast mogul skier Matt Graham has taken a gold medal at a World Cup event in Deer Valley, USA. It's the first victory in the single moguls discipline for Graham since 2017. The 28-year-old silver medalist said to CCN, quote, "It's a surreal feeling," saying, "I love this event, had my first win here in 2016, so it's good to be back up here on top of the podium." The victory is the fourth of Graham's career and his 20th World Cup podium. Now, all of this week's 43 local stories can be found on our local news website, coastcommunitynews.com.au, and in this weekend's newspaper, now out on Thursdays. Listen to our bulletins on Radio 50 Plus 93.3 FM every day, or find us on your mobile phone's Google News and Apple News apps. And of course, you can follow all of our socials. Now, we leave you this week with news of a new local foodie show hosted by celebrity chef Daniel of Baker Street Cafe in Gosford. The show will feature food and drink manufacturers on the Central Coast in Chef Dan's Gosford studio kitchen. This week is Bay Road Brewery's turn with their beer battered fish and chips. See this week's paper and online for the full show and recipe.
Little bit of fish, flour, dip, and then straight into the oil. Oh, nailed it! We're going to put a little bit of salt over top of the chips. So the salt that we put in first was to get rid of the moisture so they come up nice and crispy in the fryer.
Yep.
Now the salt that we've put in second is simply the salt that's going to season our wonderful chips. Then we're going to place our fish just over the top, and again, a little bit of seasoning.
I'm David Abrahams for Central Coast Newspapers. Have a great weekend, and thanks again for tuning in.